Saludo mi gente. I am doing this thing raw and live because if I just another button, I'm gonna get twisted. These little buttons on the screen. Anyways, okay. I want to talk about the solar eclipse and I want to talk about the new moon that's coming tomorrow. And I wanted to hop on just to share a couple of the thoughts that have been coming up for me as I think about what tomorrow is bringing, what that energy, that newness is bringing. So it's in Aries and, it's a fire sign. If you don't know, then just go on and do your homework. And if you don't know where this is impacting you in your chart, again, I would highly suggest you, one, get your chart done. And then two, I don't know if you know, but the Dream Mommy is my eldest and they are my go-to astrologer when I have questions, and also some other folks. But having said that, that's an important component. But what I'm going to speak to, it's kind of a universal idea. And the reason I say universal is because the question to me that this new moon and this solar eclipse, significant event, is really prodding us to is the idea of what's your fucking intention? And I think about this a lot because I think that we are exhausted, we are fatigued, our nervous systems are shit. There's so much going on in the world, in our personal lives. So, there's plenty to keep us numb, to keep us checked out, dysregulated, and all of the things. And I want to hold that, not dismiss it. I don't want to move it anywhere, but I want to hold it somewhere here while we have this conversation over here. And I went to bed last night. My mind has been just heavy with thoughts. And when I went to bed last night, I could feel something stirring up inside and wanting to, it's a thought or a concept that I've been sitting with, and just it finally had an articulation. So when I woke up this morning, I woke up thinking about where is it that spirit or the universe, whatever your cosmology is, has been trying to initiate your ass into, and you've been resisting the change because the pattern is unfamiliar to you. Right? And here's why this is important, because you're wanting to change. You notice where in your life there's ruckus and chaos. You see the chaos outside in the world, and it all turns into fuckery at some point, right? And we're trying for the most part to survive, whatever that means, and or thrive, depending on your perception. But there's a way that even when spirit is trying to initiate you into another season of life, into another layer, it's inviting you to break out of one pattern, right? Like that pattern's coming to an end. This is what it means to come into the new moon. We close out with the full moon stuff. We bring closure and we create a new intentional space where we're clear about what the direction is, even if we don't know all the how-tos or the what-tos, right? We just know that what's sitting inside your spirit. And I feel like there's these times where people, in attempt to be open to mystery, open to unfolding, somehow believe that is also a place where you're not responsible and you're not accountable for your choice and for your experience. And what I mean by this, hold on before your stuff gets in a knot. What I mean by this is that because we can have such a binary relationship with the unknown or the unfamiliar, we tend to orchestrate our surrendering, letting go by saying we're going with the flow, and therefore somehow subconsciously we are not accountable or responsible for our choices, for how we're moving or how we're thinking, right? And that somehow in that invitation we're like, I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to be. And you have to understand, I'm a big be person, right? Like, I want us to just be the fullest essence of ourselves. But if you do not decide on an your intent in something, my intention is to be the most fullest expression of the divine spark on this earth, and that in my mothering, in my relationships, in my all of my business, my work, all of the things, my home, everything. I want to have that intention carried out in such a way that the beauty resonates, and that even if I'm moving like in a very slow and compassionate way with myself, it doesn't abdicate my responsibility to my own life. Now, I understand that sometimes this gets a little challenging because we're like, well, what if there are things happening that we can't control? Right. Yes, there are those things too. And not but, and there is plenty that you have the agency of choice in. I may not control somebody else's ass and what they're doing and their grime, but I can decide how, based on my intention for myself, how I'm going to be. There's something that's been closing out in your life, and it's some fuckery that you've been up to far too long for your own damn good. You've been entertaining bullshit left and right and kind of just waving it by, excusing it, because we're all, again, fatigued and tired and exhausted, and some of us are just too used to the bullshit in order to let that go to receive the new shit. And so what I want to invite you to do, and what I want to invite us into thinking more thoroughly about, is what the fuck is your intention in your life? Like, what do you want? What are you doing? Who are you? Like, no, like really, who are you? Now, we could talk about conditioning for days. There's plenty of space for all the ways that we are conditioned. And there are layers of that shit caked on. I mean, it's just like bad makeup, right? Or bad foundation for that matter, right? And so it just gets caked on, caked on, caked on. So we could talk about that for days. What we can't dismiss is that even if we're talking about conditioning or the process of becoming aware, there are already things in your life that have been begging you to let it go, to actually release, not anesthetize, not distance yourself, not abdicate your responsibility and accountability because you are in fear. It's actually demanding you to stand up and say something for your fucking self for a change. And maybe sometimes it may be to yourself, right? Because maybe nobody else needs to know that you have made a decision that you are no longer going to engage, because life has been initiating to you into a different type of relationship with your family, a different type of relationship with your work, a different type of relationship with your romantic relationships, a different type of relationship with yourself, your identity, your body, your mind, your spirit, wherever it's been happening. How do you know where that's at? Well, go track where's the most fuckery in your life, and you're going to discover quickly that there's an opportunity for growth and change. Now, bear with me, because again, there are so many things happening now. So many things, like worldwide. And we can't dismiss that, and we can't minimize that. And also, everything is and also. And also, you are still here, and you have this opportunity tomorrow to decide for yourself that you are no longer going to take a passive approach to your intentionality. That you are going to choose to stay with your eyes open and your consciousness present. Right? That you're going to find the courage within you. This initiatory process that you've been going through, everybody has different cycles around it. It may be with your work stuff. It may be in your relationships. It may be, all over. Initiation happens in so many different ways, different stages and different cycles. So whatever that is for you, it's been asking you to surrender that pattern in order for you to step into your most brightest expression, which is about the illumination of the essence of your being. Because it's no longer going to cut it for you to excuse to just be about some bullshit. It's just the bullshit. It's serious amounts of bullshit, right? For you to be about the bullshit. And do I have any kids? Yes, son. As my son asked his mother, do I have any kids? Yes, two. Thank you. Right. But there's this opportunity tomorrow, and it's not a singular in that, only tomorrow, as if it's a sale going, but there's this decision you must make. No one can make it for you. No one can induce you to the choice. You must fucking muster up from the depth of your being a radical, that motherfucker's so rooted. You are in it. You are anchored in knowing that who you want to be and how you are going to move from this moment forward is going to be this way. It's going to be being fully yourself in ways that you have gone too long unexpressed. It's going to be actually having the conversation for those relationships and all of that shit that's going on, and actually being honest about where you are at and what your intention is. This is the beauty of these astronomical moments that come along and are saying, hey, the universe wants to initiate you into something beautiful. You've been praying for it. You've been setting intentions. You've been doing all of the things, trying to set your life in that path, except the ultimate thing, which is make the decision that you have to make for you, that only you can make. So you're going to look, where are you being initiated to? What are you being initiated? Why? How do you know what is the thing? How do you know that? Because you can't plan all the shit out, because you don't know all the things. You just have decided that you're going to inhabit a value, an energy, a frequency that is not negotiable, right? It's not negotiable. And so you're looking at, if it's in your relationship house, where the new moon is hitting, then you're looking at your relationships. I'm looking at my relationships. I'm asking myself deeper questions about, who am I in this? Where am I in? Am I still the same? What pattern have I refused to let go of that I keep on every single relational opportunity or opportunity for connection? I continue to use that same framework moving forward, when there's an opportunity to be entirely different. But we don't take it because we don't know what will happen as a result of you actually deciding what you need to decide for yourself. So the question is, what the fuck is your intention? What has life been trying to initiate your happy ass into, but you keep on squirming because you think that it's one of those invitations where you could just flow? It's not just about the beingness, it's about the determination that lives inside of your bones. And because it's Aries, because it's fire, because it's that idea of like rising, right? In courage, rising in leadership, just being able to really be responsible and accountable, you are being invited to make some decisions, to stop accepting the minimum, to stop low-barring yourself, or low-balling yourself for that matter, right? Because you think if you just adjust yourself in this way or that way, or this way or that way, maybe things would turn out whatever. Actually, the power of the intention lies in your inhabitation of it and your decision of it. And so inviting you to tomorrow, when the solar eclipse is when all the goodness is happening, to actually deeply reflect and make the choice. For example, from this moment on, I am committing to moving in a way that allows me to care for myself while simultaneously honoring the needs of others. Moving forward, I will decide, or I have decided, I've chosen to move in a way that allows me to be fully engaged, all the pieces of myself, not leaving anything behind, because the choice is yours. That's your bag. That's your choice. Maybe somebody has that expectation. Maybe somebody needs you to be smaller. Maybe somebody needs you to, zip it up. Maybe somebody needs you to stop asking so many questions. Maybe somebody could need all they need. The question is, what will you decide? So I want to leave you with this, because I want to leave you with this. We talk about alignment, we talk about realities, we talk about all of those things, and they're so important and so relevant and so powerful. But the most powerful thing you could ever do is to choose for yourself. And that the power in that is what amplifies your frequency or decreases it. So you tell me, what are you being initiated into? What have you been holding on to for dear life because you're afraid of the unknown moving forward? Have you not yet understood that the desire for you to be your authentic and most expressed self is really about you being fully you and us knowing who you are? If you're ready for that, if you're ready to be Not just because the language sounds nice, it sounds so sexy, right? Oh, be unapologetic yourself, authentic yourself. And some people, confuse that for being asses, right? Or for being literally just self-oriented in that way that they're just thinking solely about themselves. But there's a beauty and there's a space here for the place of really sitting deeply with, who are you being? How am I supposed to fucking know you if you don't want to fully be yourself? If you're terrified of that? How do I know how to be with you if I don't know because you don't show me? And that, to me, my friends, wherever the motion is happening in your world, wherever there's been such a sticky pattern and you feel like you're going over and over and over in the same thing, I want to invite you to look at that aspect of your life and get to the place, that place where you say, I'm so fucking tired of this, right? I don't know if you say that, but I say that. Like if I feel like something has tapped me out, I'm like, I'm so fucking exhausted. That exhaustion is the edge. It's the other side of surrender that allows you to have a breakthrough. That edge of exhausted it's the meeting place where surrender is accessible, that can shift you into a different orientation and expression and being, which should always be more fully yourself. So do us a favor. I love you. I don't fucking know you. There's so many people on here. I mean, I know who I know, right? I love you. What I love about you is that you have the capacity to offer a contribution that is a unique expression of a divine spark, whatever your cosmology, whatever you're believing. It is an expression of divinity that cannot be found anywhere else because it's only found in the unique composition of who you are. That's what I want. I want you to fully be you and to be the you that is fully expressed and no longer living contracted. That is not hitting the fucking brick wall every single time because your fear has caused you to just settle in, to settle for less, to actually not with compassion. You act like the only thing you can do is insult your ass or be self-deprecating. With compassion, remind yourself of the stuff you're made of because we need you being you. So I hope that you have a good new moon. I was just thinking simultaneously, whatever you do, don't look at the thing. You should know the science around that. It's not good for your eyes, right? Know that things are shifting and changing at a speed that this Gregorian calendar can't even hold. And also, whatever you have done, wherever you have been, for those who are Jews, we are the month of Nisan, Pesach. I mean, is all the things are happening in ways that are causing us to examine who we are, what are our names, and who do we want to be. What is your intention? What are you being initiated to? Rise up, choose for yourself so that we can fully get to know the power of your being. And also because that just, I don't know, helps us fall more in love with you, not because you're doing anything, but because you're being such a beautiful, unique expression of that which is greater. So I love you. I hope you have a good new moon. If you do ritual, be gentle. If you don't do ritual, then allow yourself to watch what is emerging. You don't always need to know the astrology to know what shit needs transforming in your life. And coincidentally, it so happens that usually the astrology is giving us the indication, right? Like these are the things that need to change. You already know where it's at. You already know what you need to be doing. Choose. Make a decision. Live out your fucking intention. And if you have been called, initiated into a different season of life, listen, let that old shit go. Let the pattern go. Release it. And I know it's not, this is not the easier, it sounds easier. What is the saying? Easier said than done. My goodness. Easier said than done. Actually, in the same way you decide other shit, you can decide this. So decide that you are going to engage and enter into this new season of your life in a way that actually matches the depth of your soul. Until next time, my friends. Adios.